right there with my thumb.
Yay.
Doo-doo-doo.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm playing hopscotch over the baskets. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
Woohoo! I didn't change my sweater, but everyone seems to love this sweater. So hey.
It is a gorgeous one.
Ah, thank
and
you.
a beautiful color.
Ta-da! And I'm plotting another one with the same yarn. It's a very different colorway. Anyway,
So
more about that if there's time. So I feel like you can't see me, but like the camera's at a different angle, so you kind of can see me. So anyway, we got in all these awesome baskets. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Ready? Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in Chile, and not sure what it's going to do today, but probably a nice day because I don't see clouds in the sky. Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there. It's gonna take all day to get to like 48.
I got just a random spam text message on my watch, so it's gonna get to 48.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, on the way in, NPR was like, it's gonna be in the 50s. Wait, no, the 40s. Like, they're having a rough morning too. Everybody's having a rough morning. We planned to get in early, and you did,
I did.
and I kind of did, because we had huge orders to fill. Thank you very much to people who shop online. Thank you very much. But yeah, we were gonna get lots done, and we got some of the lots done, some of it. But I've been busy all weekend making basket. Well, I didn't make them, but I shaped them. We will get to those. We're just letting you see some of the fun ones down there. Disclaimer: none of these baskets are in the online shop yet. It's gonna take some work this week. So. But I like to talk about knitting before we talk about baskets, because I could spend the whole like 40 minutes, really 35 at this point, talking about baskets, and that shouldn't be the only thing we talk about today. No, yeah, I said we were going to talk about knitting. I was about to go randomly on a tangent about baskets again. So it's not a thing. Liz, what is it? What are you working on that on camera looks like you're being swallowed by?
So I worked all weekend long on my super bulky Papillon in hopes that it would be cast off and ready for.
She had fun things
filming.
to show you all with this huge big. Are you casting off though right now?
I'm casting off.
So maybe Thursday?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Thursday.
Okay. Because
okay.
I mean, tomorrow we tend to just talk about the sale yarn, and some people don't watch tomorrow's episode, Wednesday's episode, because they'd be in danger of buying too much, or they live outside the U.S. So why watch? Because we are not shipping outside the U.S.
How far am I?
But you can still see fun things about yarn. Oh, what?
2, 4, 6, 8. I'm about 100 stitches from the middle.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot.
And yes. There's this much to go.
And if you could see how jammed on these stitches are, you almost had me order you a 60-inch needle, but at this point it's too late.
No, I still want the 60-inch, but it's too late for this one. Like, okay, so
this one's irretrievable. No, it's just gonna be done. What?
So when you do,
you see what happened was
a moth Papillon in super bulky.
Yeah, what?
And
Continue.
you stop at the end of section 2. And then you decide to do the moth edging on it.
It's a lot of stitches.
40 inches. It'll all fit.
Will it?
Oh yeah, it does. But it's not enough to really start binding off. Like when I started binding off yesterday, I had stitches all the way to here and stitches all the way to here.
How is it not? The length
just
is not
getting
enough.
it muscled to start binding it off.
So you used another needle.
I'm using a 19.
I'm seeing that there's another needle around your neck.
Yeah.
What are you knitting with?
A 17.
Well, that makes sense anyway,
Yeah.
because you want to bind off with a looser needle to like maybe not have it be super, super tight. I like how you're wearing the stitch markers as they come off as a ring. Trust me, it's there. It's
there.
light. It
They're
almost matches
pastels.
her skin.
Yeah. So It's
So, but that's fun. So is that what you mainly worked on this weekend?
this is all I worked on this
Can
weekend.
we
can.
try to hold? No, I don't. No. You didn't know exactly what I was gonna say. I just wanted to hold up part of the bound off side. I don't want the stitches to fall off your needle, so people can see.
Holy crap.
Like we can't hold up the whole thing. But
I'm
here,
just
if
trying
you
to
can grab this, I
Yeah.
can grab the edge. So like, I just want people to see this edge. And I didn't want, okay, it's not gonna fall off.
It's not gonna.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the edge. Get up.
Oh,
I'm just trying to show, like, we can't even show how much has been bound off. Like, it's down by your feet.
yeah.
And, but look how pretty. Oh my gosh, look how pretty. Holy crap. This has to be our cover photo for this. Oh my gosh, our thumbnail. Holy crap. That's as strong as my language gets on this show, I hope. Okay.
It's a lot.
Like that's, yeah, I can't even guess how much that, yeah.
And the pods at the bottom, like trying to not dislocate my
All of that
shoulders
was on a
with-
40-inch needle?
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yes.
This is like living proof what I tell people, because I talk about circulars and how when you're going in a circle, you want something shorter than what you're knitting. Like, and you can jam a bunch of stitches on. This is proof of how much you can jam, because people are like, no, like you can't make a hat on 16-inch circulars because I thought something ran away. I think it's just a shadow. You can't make a hat on 16-inch circulars because that's not as big as someone's head. Yes, you can. You can make a papillon that fills our screen on 40-inch needles.
It's a little tight.
There should be like a Guinness record or something.
Yeah.
There's a bunch you should have gotten by now, but I don't think they're categories yet. Someone needs to write in. Not me, I don't have time. Someone needs to write in.
it like I said, I couldn't go to section 3.
Mm-mm.
I knew I couldn't go to section 3. It would be too big.
This is already bigger than most of your big
I
papillons.
have at the shop a papillon I made on a 10.5 needle and my other papillons that are on a 9 needle, and I want to lay them all out like to show how big this actually is.
We'll do a photo shoot. We might
Yeah.
have to get in a ladder.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I can stand on the counter. That's so safe. No.
Well,
I'm
we
not
did
20 anymore. I'm not doing that.
we did the photo shoot for my family's papillon. You stood on a ladder and got a great pic.
I stood on the step ladder.
Yeah.
I think we need a bigger ladder for this.
I don't.
I stood on a 3-step step ladder, and I took the picture I took and I tilted it. I photo edited it so it was flat because it wasn't flat. I couldn't get up high enough to take a flat photo.
I think if we can do the same thing, because I'm just going to basically stack them on top of each other instead of having them spread out.
Oh my gosh, speaking of tilting and stuff, I saw a really funny, this is just an aside.
Mhm.
It was a Twitter thing about how even the queen needs to be careful what she posts online.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's really, really funny. If you know what a Rickroll is, I got Rickrolled. It's funny. So I have to explain that for people who are like, what? That was a thing back when I was doing high school publications. Like, it's older now, but some people still know what it is. So it showed a photo of her with this open briefcase, and then it's like, look, there's documents inside, and look, I can turn them around and I can flatten them, and then we could take a look at the pixels, and we don't have the high technology, but I bet it's just a bunch of pixels. And they cleaned it up, and it was the lyrics to "Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Gonna Let You Down," and that's being rickrolled because that's clicking on a link, and it's that video. Anyway, some of our listeners might have just learned something. Other people are like, that is so 5 minutes ago, stop it. So anyway, just got me to dance like this apparently. So I had someone who entered something into our high school publication, like the formal poetry publication, with a link that was rickrolling everybody, and I might have just let it happen because I was like, who's gonna actually click the link? I don't know, but you know, none of the adults were. Okay, so what did I work on this
What
weekend?
did you work on this
Oh,
weekend?
I filmed an episode about a basic sock like this for tips and tricks, and then
Dobby is still not free.
huh?
Dobby is still not free.
No, Dobby's never getting this. Because there's still only one. So but I didn't have time to edit it, and we'll see. It might take all week to edit it because now that it's not Monday anymore, I'm never gonna have time. But it's been really, really it was a busy Monday. That reminds me, I should tell people about the yarn crawl. Should we do it now or at the end?
We could tell people now.
Okay. Squirrel.
Not a thing.
One of the things we did was have a meeting. It's our second meeting getting ready for this. The shops of Western North Carolina. There's about 11 of us involved in this. The Western North Carolina yarn crawl is traditionally on Mother's Day weekend, and we haven't had it for the past 2 years because COVID. Thanks a lot, COVID. And so we are doing it this year. We are finally back to it. The dates have shifted ever so slightly. I put it in my newsletter last night. Usually it is Thursday through Sunday of Mother's Day weekend, and we've shifted it a little to expand it, but also to give people Mother's Day to do Mother's Day. So we're starting it on Tuesday this year. It's May 3rd, and it's going till May 7th. And there's a lot of reasons for that. It also overlaps with Maryland Sheep and Wool this year, which it doesn't always. It's usually one weekend apart. So it gives people a chance, if they're going to come down to us, to do it during the week, and then also head over to Maryland Sheep and Wool if they choose to, because that's like Saturday and Sunday. So, or something like that. Anyway, we'll check those dates later, or someone can tell us in the comments. But yeah, I was super excited about it. We had a big long meeting about, starting to plan for that yesterday, and to reconfirm. We kind of tentatively set the dates, and now we're like shouting it from the rooftops. May 3rd through May 7th. Mark your calendars if you want to.
Tuesday through Saturday.
Yes, it's the days we're open. Yay! We don't have to change our hours for the crawl. Yay! I promise that was not the reason that those are the dates. There's 11 of us involved. But it's a chance to go to as many or as few. We encourage as many as possible as you feel comfortable traveling to, of the shops in Western North Carolina, and because we all have different personalities, and mostly like some overlap of yarn at some shops, but not at others. So you get to see different things at different shops. You get to come across things you might not have been exposed to if you're used to shopping at one shop. A lot of us do like door prizes, and we have specials going on, and some of that comes together days before the event. So I can't announce any of them here because I don't know. But that means that, long story long, that means that my tips and tricks didn't get edited yesterday. So I've been planning the sock one, or to do a sock one, for like a month or 2 months now. I don't even remember anymore. Time has no meaning, and it's still March of 2020. So that was a big thing this weekend. And then my echo point, I have not done, like, I was trying to do a section a week, and I'm still just at the beginning of section 5 right now, cause life. But I've started to do, it's reached the end of its capacity on 47-inch cables. Speaking of jamming on cables, I can jam the whole thing on here, but I want to spread it out for photos. So I'm about to move it to a 60-inch cable because I like to spread it out to show y'all. But this is the middle right here. And I'm about halfway through the color stripes. Like if you were just to look at one section like this, like a chunk right between my fingers, I'm halfway through. But since the rows are getting longer as I go, I'm not halfway through the knitting. I'm maybe a quarter of the way through the knitting, maybe a third. So I'm going to move it to longer cables and try to keep working on it. But I have too many projects going. So, oh, I'm remembering now it's been a day already. And I'm going through a yay, I'm a girl morning. And if you don't know what that means, message me privately and I'll tell you. So one of the things I did do before I go to my new thing, that's my new thing.
You started your new thing?
I swatched. Morning meditation was a swatch. we'll talk about that in a second. I got to where I was comfortable with it being long enough, and I cast off the bottom of my No Frills sweater. So that's what I should have been wearing today.
You're gonna die of heat exhaustion.
There's no sleeves on this.
And yet you're gonna die of heat exhaustion.
I'm gonna die of being tickled by the mohair on my bare arms. I can't keep track of all the things, all the emails, all the stuff I have to do.
That is
So-
a good length.
Yeah, and I have to back up so you can see it over the, and when I block this, it will probably relax just a little bit, which is what makes this a good length. It's not as long as the one I just took off. My Sorrel sweater that I just took off is super long and comfortable. It's like another inch or two longer than this, but I'm getting like right between the baskets here. So yeah, I think this is a good length. And I made this I think I made this like the 50-inch size. Like if I pulled it out, it's big, but it's roomy because I'm pretty, this way, like to have some room. Hopefully the sleeves won't be super big and bulky because like if you look here, this isn't, the other ones are like 15 inches down here, but I think it's because the armhole is higher. Because I picked a bigger size, the armhole is lower. But honestly, that should help with the girls and the arms. We'll see. It could be that when I start my arms, I find they're like when I finish my sleeves, they're huge, but they'll be comfy. Right now, I'm feeling the mohair brush against my arms, and it's all fuzzy and warm, but a little tickly. So, well, here's the other thing. I was like, I didn't want to make it much longer here. I left the yarn at home, but I didn't want to make it much longer here. I ran out of mohair like in the ribbing. And the new thing of mohair, because this is self-striping mohair, I had to ball off like a little ball this big to get to the right color. And it's longer here than the color repeat is somewhere else because I was also trying to fudge it because it's almost where it needs to be for the sleeve. And I didn't want to okay, this is my dilemma. I didn't want to have the ribbing color go past the sleeve transition because then either the sleeve transition is not going to look as seamless. I mean, I may be the only one who notices, but the sleeve transition will look chunky because it'll jump a color, or I'll have to ball off a whole nother color repeat to get to the right spot. And I didn't want to do, I don't want to waste too much mohair. I'm trying to see like how much mohair it would take to make this sweater in my size if someone else wants to replicate this. Now, a lot of you out there may be smaller than me, so I might find some of you might be bigger than me. So you might have to always plan on more. This colorway we have to reorder mostly because I have bogarted quite a bit of it for this sweater. I just cracked into my third skein, I believe, of the color changing mohair.
Didn't one of our knitters pick that colorway for her sweater too?
Harriet? I don't know if Harriet picked the other color that I'm using for the chevron. She picked the all soft, pastels, beautiful soft, and she combined it with like an orchid color, I think. It's really pretty. Very muted because the main color, I'm using white as my main color to let the colors pop. And when you use a different main color, it'll be more muted, but you'll still see the color shift. Anyway, so like, this is like staticky, but not, it just feels like if something was staticky because all them, like I can feel it.
I can see it.
I can feel it here. I'm not even touching the sides of the sweater and I can feel
it has a lot of halo.
It's got, the halo is considerable, but I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm excited because this is the sweater that's closest to being done of the ones still stuck on needles. And if I'm going to start a new sweater, so this I got done. I spent a lot of time on my Rebel 2, which I didn't bring in today because it looks the same as it did before because brioche takes a while and it's getting really wide, but not really deep because it's crescent, which is lovely. So I posted a picture on social media of these two yarns, which wound up will look different, but let's see here. This is one of what I'm swatching with, the fiber spates in blush. And this is dark energy, right? Because dark matter is the one we just took a picture of for an inquiry. This guy, can't see all the colors in it now that I've wound it up, but I'm super excited because I want to do, I was like, guess what I'm making? Those of you watching the show know what I want to make. I want to make this.
So
Color
much.
changing, color changing instead of a fade of picked out colors. Because I don't know, in our shop, we actually try to have a range and not too many of each color. So to have a really gradient fade in any yarn is going to be really challenging for us because we're trying to have a wide palette. But using a yarn that changes color, I'm hoping it won't change color so slowly that I'm like, oh, but there's this other color I wanted to appear in the sweater. I'll figure it out. So I'm swatching. That was this morning's morning meditation was just me doing this little curly butt swatch. And it should be longer than this, but I'm impatient. And, you know, all of the patterns say, yeah. Understatement of the year. What? Yeah, fine. I am never impatient with my knitters. I am only impatient with myself.
As we all are. We are all our worst critics.
What hopefully makes me a good teacher is I have but tons of patience for everybody else. I have twice as much so that we can be patient together. But for myself, I'm like, get it done. I want to start. So when it says in a pattern like block your swatch, I'm wary of blocking swatches anyway, because sometimes if you do a super, you pull or stretch, it's like, unless you're going to pull and stretch your finished sweater, which may happen when you block it and the weight of it and stuff. Like, I'm careful of that. I like to measure an unblocked swatch because then, you know, if say I don't get around to blocking it, it hopefully still fits. So, and I cast on more stitches. You're supposed to, this is the gauge for this is 20 stitches wide, should be 4 inches. Now, what I do not do is cast on 20 stitches and knit and then say, but wait, it's too small, because the edges, like the bottom curls up. That's why knitting longer than this is really better. The edges curl in, so it's really hard to flatten this out and get an accurate measurement. And the selvage edge stitches tend to be wonky and don't measure right anyway.
Yep.
So I cast on 32. I was going to cast on 30 and I got carried away. And then I'm like, I'll just knit them all. I'm not knocking off my work.
Said
I'm gonna just
no
knit.
knitter ever.
So I knit a row, purled a row, and I measured in the center of this morning with my Susan Bates swatch, which is 2 inches wide. And I also double checked with the bottom of it to measure 4 inches.
Yeah.
And I tried to measure away from the top that's still on the cable and the bottom that's curling, because it won't give you very accurate measurement. And I measured in a few places. Now it's not completely accurate for 2 reasons. One is, you know, I should knit more, so there's more room to measure. And the other is that this is knit flat and the sweater is going to be knit in a circle. But since the gauge is over just stockinette, which is just straight knitting, rather than color work, which can pull at your stitches in weird ways, especially knitting versus purling, this should be pretty accurate. It's not as accurate as if I actually knit in a circle and measured it. But for impatient me, this is accurate enough.
And your purl stitches tend to come out about the same height as your knit stitches.
They do, although like when I learned knit to purl to rib is different flat than in the round on my other sweater. But so I measured this after I knit quite a few rows this morning for my meditation. I was about half this width when I started this morning. This height, I guess we could say. I'm in that little 2-inch window. I was getting about 10.5 stitches when I should be getting 10. So 4 inches, and I measured the 4 inches too. I'm getting about 21 stitches when I want to be getting 20. So I may do another gauge swatch, 1 needle size up. This is the needle required by the pattern. I'm going to try one more swatch, 1 size up, to see if I can get, because that might not sound like a lot to be off by 1 stitch over 4 inches, but you multiply that by like 50 inches. I'm probably making the 47-inch size. You multiply that by 47 inches. That's 10 of those stitches at least, right?
10 stitches is a lot.
10 stitches is a lot. And what it means right now is my stitches are too small because too many of them are fitting in that space. A lot of our brains want to like look at that in a wonky way. A lot of people look at, okay, I've got 21 stitches. I need to go to a smaller. No, you need to go to a bigger needle. What that means is that it's gonna, if I cast on the number of stitches right now for the 47-inch size, it's those 10 stitches, take them out, you know, shrink it down. It's gonna be tight on me. I could go up and do a larger size, but I'm gonna try a 6 instead of a 5 and see if I can get closer to my 20 stitches. And then I'm gonna shift all the needle sizes accordingly. And that should make it easier. Like this looks like a lot of work before you start a project, but I'd rather do the work, this work, than have my sweater not come out the right size, because that's a lot of wasted work. So everyone's got their own personal spot for that, right?
Since I go bigger, I know this is going to come out bigger, and I just wing
And
it.
she's okay with that.
But if I want it to fit right,
It depends on where your
I've
I don't
ripped
care
out a
bar is.
hat.
Your I don't care bar. Yeah. Her I don't care bar. Okay. Shouldn't speak for her, but I'm going to. Her I don't care bar is like rock bottom for most things. But there are a few things where it skyrockets. And I want to say like thistle patterns are amongst them.
Thistle patterns are amongst.
So, you know, okay, so that's my story on my Avena. I'm finally going to start it. But look, I'm like almost done with the sweater. So I'm swapping. I have another one in mind, but I'm not going to start it yet. So I realized there's so many shawls I have on needles right now and other things. Like it's so hard to give them all love and finish any of them. So I really need to kind of either pare down or step up my game and stop sleeping. You know,
I got a new sweater yarn in yesterday. So I need to finish the sweater is what that means.
We both do. We should both make a pact to finish a sweater, Liz.
I have one that like the sleeves are maybe halfway done. Like if I just knock the sleeves out, I could be done with that sweater.
Make them short sleeves.
Sorry. I could actually, but I don't like short sleeves. I don't.
All right. So before
The
we
struggle
end,
is real.
the struggle is so real. Oh my gosh. Baskets. We got in these lovely baskets. I haven't ordered for a while, but we suddenly had a run on baskets. So I got in 20 baskets. Sounds like a lot, and it kind of is, but some of them are small, like the ones in front. Like this is the like my hand there for reference. It looks huge. It's not that big. This is the mini, and this is the large mini. I know it sounds like an oxymoron, but it's like it's not quite a medium because this is a medium. This is new for us. We haven't had mediums, or like back when we did have mediums, they were bigger. They were different sizes. They've rebranded. This is an in-between size. There's two ways this is new for us. It's new because we have some things that were without colors before, but they were more the shopping totes. This is a medium. All the medium totes are natural, meaning they don't have the crazy colors. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the large.
That's the large. Well, the large can range in size too, right? So
Yes.
that's one of the large with pattern. We have also new to the shop, they started making large solids. We only have 4 of each. So they're not all this color. The 4 solids are all different colors. This one's my favorite. And none of these are online yet. I think I said that at the beginning, and I have to take photographs and put them up online, and that's going to take me a while, but I'm trying. This one's the most design exuberant of the bunch. These are both larges. The large, there's a range because they are handmade in Ghana. There is a range of sizes, but these are both larges because they're handmade. They're not machine made. They're going to be different sizes. This one, the one Liz is holding has a I'm just going to do whoop.
Has a naked
plain
bottom.
Naked bottom. Some of them have very colorful patterned bottoms. And we'll try to take a photo so you can kind of see that. We're only taking one photo per. But like, these are both larges. Oh my gosh. They're all going to be the same. What's the price on these larges, Liz?
The large ones are $61.50.
Prices are going up on everything. So the last round of larges and some of the larges you see online, the very few we have left from older batches might have a different price. The other thing I'll say about this, we are talking about these today and not on Wednesday because we're not putting them on sale. I'm just being upfront with y'all. That they are expensive to ship. And we ask you to choose the larger shipping option if we're shipping them to you. And even when we deflate them down so we can ship them, they're still expensive to ship. So we only ask $10 shipping. They're usually more than that. So we can't reduce the price anymore. But so medium, large mini.
Ooh.
And it's cute bottoms. Not all of them have cute bottoms. And then the large mini to, let me make sure this is, large mini to a mini. The mediums, what's the price on the medium list?
The mediums are $57.50.
All right, mediums are $57.50. What's the large minis?
The large minis are $38.50.
All right. And whew, other large minis that we have. This is a large mini. Not all of them have the pretty bottoms, but large mini. That's the side. That's the bottom again. That one was a large mini. This is a large mini with a naked bottom. And I think this one's a large mini. Some of them are the navy, which is really cool. Yeah.
Large mini.
These are all round
Swirlies.
ones. We didn't get other shapes because honestly, other shapes are hard to ship. These ones we can compress. These are the minis.
We didn't say how much the mini.
Here, I was
Oh.
giving one to you.
Mini minis are $31.50.
This one might be my favorite, but I will let him go to a good home. This one, naked bottom, fancy bottom. Naked
Naked
bottom,
bottom.
fun design. We never know what patterns we're going to get in, and they're pretty much different every time. If we had repeats, it's by accident. The same person might like to do the same thing over and over again, where they make them in Ghana. But they tend to change up the colors. And I mean,
Just
I'm
to
sure they
note,
make
we
so many.
can't special order any particular.
No. And we wouldn't try to, other than a natural. And some of the naturals, like the natural shopping totes we used to have, people are like, ooh, I'd like more when they come in. Last time I ordered, I couldn't get them. So some things come and go, and some patterns come and go. Rough sizes of things tend to mostly stay the same, but like you can see, one of our large baskets is super large this time. And I will try to get them online sometime this week. If you're local and you see one you like, come grab it. You can always call us if you're far away and want one specifically, and we'll do our best, but we can't promise anything. It's and at this point, holding things for people we can't do. We if you want to buy it, go for it. I can tell you which one it is, or we can run a card here at the shop. Anyway, so sorry, that was a little too much Wednesday on a Tuesday, but it's because we're not putting them on sale. So I'm using my knit out box. Did I mention that? We should probably go soon.
We should.
I want to make a reel of me using it like the way that you taught me to use it, of flip it over and put it in a bloop. I filmed that this morning, and I have to now see if I can do chunks, because reels are cute, but they take a little work. I've been doing that with my morning meditations though. I have been just putting some music and maybe a couple words on top of morning meditation. It's kind of fun to add a little bit of to just add a little soundtrack and see how it changes. And sometimes they get stuck in my head, but anyway, not a thing at all.
I'm
Okay,
over halfway done.
see what happens when I ramble. You get stuff done.
There's the bottom.
That's the pointy middle
That's the
part.
pointy middle.
That's cool. So Liz will probably be, we'll probably be like, this might be our thumbnail for a bunch of different episodes now. So because we might be trying to hold the whole thing up on Thursday. We'll see if that becomes a thumbnail on Thursday. I don't know. We'll see. But we got to go open up the shop. So that's what's left. It still fills the needle.
Still fills the needle.
And it's still super squished on.
Yeah.
It's, oh my gosh. You know what I want to do on Thursday is I want to hold it up and have you see how many times you can roll yourself up in it. I kind of want to do that.
I have a special thing I want to stick on it too.
Yes.
that
Oh, she's
you-
got plans, and knit nighters know. People who came to one of the knit nights know. So tonight is knit night from 7 to 9 p.m. I still have to put up a little thing on Instagram about that. Because this morning was rough. So but it's happening. It's happening. If we can get this video out quickly, it's happening tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. Join us on Zoom with the shop phone number
828-877-3550.
Yay. And tomorrow is the VSC. We'll find new things to be on sale. Today is the last day to get Mushishi or Ultra Alpaca at 15% off, or those cute little needle gauges from Lantern Moon. Code product of the week. Remember, you can't just buy it and assume there's going to be a discount. You got to put in the code. And Thursday, we have several Dear Becky and
We have
Lizzie
3.
questions.
One from YouTube that I screenshotted and emailed
Okay.
to me.
And there's like
so
there's 2 questions embedded in it,
Yeah.
actually. But yeah,
And then I've gotten 2 emails. So
when it rains, it pours. We had 2 weeks without questions, and now it's going to be like, let's do our best to try to get through all the questions.
I think we can. We'll
I
have
think
to
we
start at
We have to see
9.
if we
And
can hear you through the wrap up of the Peppy. No, I'm kidding.
she's gonna leave me burritoed in
I'm
a
just gonna leave
Papillon.
you standing. No. And then we have another knit night on Friday. And this Sunday is already our Sunday sit and stitch for
That
this
is
month.
insane.
Like last week in the newsletter, I was like, it's next month because it was the 31st of January. And this week in the newsletter, I'm like, it's this week. But yay, seeing everybody, that'll be fun. Okay. And I know how to handle Zoom bombers this time. So hopefully we won't have crazy Zoom bombers. Or if they come in, I will go, ha! And they'll only get maybe one F-bomb out. So we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Okay. So we love y'all. We miss you. And we see some of you, but some of you we know are watching, and we're looking forward to meeting you.
Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all the fun stuff.
All the fun stuff.
Patreon. We're up to 716.
It keeps growing. It's exciting because that means now we're heading for 800 subscribers for our next mega sale only for YouTubers. And that's not as far away as it sounds, because that means it's only 84 people away. Considering we have 716, that's not a lot of people. That's good, right? Yeah. So if you haven't subscribed yet, consider it, because it doesn't cost you anything and it could actually save you something. That's my line, and I'm sticking to it. So, all right. Bye, everybody. We have to go do our day. We will
Bye.
maybe see you tonight. Bye. Oh, it's so fuzzy.